Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and welcome to Omni at the Movies, where today our subject is Alita Battle Angel, based on the manga Battle Angel Alita. I don't know why they reversed the title that way, but whatever. Yes, this is a manga adaptation, and live-action manga adaptations, as I'm sure most of you know by this point, don't exactly have the best reputation. They tend to be fairly awful. It is across the board, mind you. Japan hasn't had the best track record of adapting manga to live action either, but in America, it's especially horrendous. Sure, we got Edge of Tomorrow, which was based on the light novel All You Need Is Kill. It counts, there are plenty of anime that have been adapted from light novels, and they contain manga drawings most of the time. But most of the time what we get is Dragon Ball Evolution, or Speed Racer, or the Netflix Death Note. For some reason, it just wasn't working, and for a long time, lots of people were saying that Hollywood should just stop trying to adapt manga and anime to live action. I was always of the opinion that adapting manga to live action was no different than adapting comic books to live action. It could be done, somebody just had to figure out the right way to do it. And once they did figure it out, well, the results speak for themselves. We now get so many comic book-based movies in a year that lots of people are saying there are too many. Eventually, somebody was gonna come along and do it the right way. We saw the beginnings of it with Pacific Rim, which wasn't based on any pre-existing manga, but was definitely an homage to a lot of the conventions you see in manga, anime, and kaiju films. But we still needed a proper adaptation. And it turns out that proper adaptation would be given to us by James Cameron. Yes, he pulled it off. Alita Battle Angel has cracked the code. Before we get too far, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, the main character, through the wonders of technology, is given freakishly huge anime eyes. It weirded out a lot of people when the trailers first came around, but honestly, I don't even notice them anymore at this point. In fact, her slightly more unrealistic look is plot relevant, but I won't go into too many details on that. And even if you still think it looks weird, it nonetheless looks good, as in, you always believe that that's what the character really looks like. Alita's actress Rosa Salazar already has pretty big eyes anyway, but thanks to how far the technology has come, the way she looks in this movie is pretty much seamless. You know, Avatar may have been a dry derivative film that left no impact on the pop culture landscape, but considering that it made possible the technology to make Alita Battle Angel look as good as it does, I suppose I now believe it was worth it. There's no denying that this movie is a visual treat. Feast for the eyes is an understatement. There is a ton of detail in every shot, and every shot feels like it could have been taken right out of the manga. But a movie can't survive on its visuals alone. It needs to have actual substance. It needs to be functional on a plot basis and a character basis. And, thankfully, Alita Battle Angel works there as well. For a long time, the only adaptation we had of Battle Angel was the hour-long OVA, which was alright but had some serious pacing issues. The live-action movie has much better pacing, which also means that the progression of the character arcs flows much better. Alita herself is a great character, and in fact, I understand completely why James Cameron is such a big fan of this series, because Alita is exactly the kind of female character he loves. Someone who is strong and has agency and is able to be an action hero without sacrificing her femininity. Alita doesn't fit alongside the current trend of female action heroes, which are just male action heroes in female bodies. Alita is very much a girl. She can beat the snot out of you, but she's still a girl, and she still has the desires and mindset of a girl. Some of her motivations can even be tied to that. In short, she's cut from the same cloth as Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor, and Rosa Salazar plays her expertly. In fact, all of the performances here are great. Christopher Waltz, who has always been at risk of being typecast as the evil German villain, is great as Ito. And yes, he does wield the giant rocket-powered hammer, and it's great. Marshala Ali is actually given quite a task because even though he's not enhanced at all with special effects, his role requires him to actually play two different characters, and you can always tell when he's switching between the two. Jennifer Connelly's role as Shirin is effectively cold, just like it was in the source material. Kian Johnson is great as Hugo, Jackie Earle Haley is great as Grishka. I really can't think of a single bad performance out of the whole film. Now, I know I've mentioned James Cameron's name a lot here because this was always one of his pet projects, but actually the movie was directed by Robert Rodriguez. And yeah, he makes every shot in this movie look good. He knows how to frame the action. He knows just when to have the slow-mo kick in. He knows how to recreate that feel of an anime in live action. What more is there to even say other than this is definitely a movie worth seeing? It does end in such a way that sets up for a sequel while still clearly reaching a conclusion, and hopefully this movie does well enough that it will get sequels. After all, we've still got a lot of source material to cover. And frankly, I'd much rather see Battle Angel 2 than Avatar 2. No offense, James. I also have a feeling we'll probably be seeing a lot of future live-action manga adaptations aping Battle Angel. And it's possible they may not do it as well. So we may still have a little way to go before we see manga-based movies that are on par with current comic book-based movies. Even so, I can think of no better film to get the motorball rolling. Really, about the only bad thing I have to say at this point is that there were no hidden Blue Oyster Cult references in the movie. Well, no film is perfect. So that's where I stand on Alita Battle Angel. As always, you're free to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also, check the description for links to our Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon pages, as well as the Amazon link for the novel Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, penned by yours truly. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.